So we've talked address, backswing, impacts. Now talking transition. So when we look at transition, there are 3 distinct ways the wrist moves, okay? And one very powerful pattern, you could say, okay? So let's have a look at 3 players who may be working this so you can start to put your mind into their images of certain things. Gary Woodland, power, bullets, absolutely amazing in the wind, okay? You've got Rory and Scott Scheffler, and you've got DJ and Colin Morikawa. So they'd be the short 3 patterns. So having a look at transition, okay? When they're at the top of the backswing, let's start off with a DJ pattern. Okay, so a little bit more bowed at the top here. What is actually happening? Okay, this wrist is not going to turn down a lot more, okay, because club face is already closed. It's going to be somewhat maintaining it, okay? Now, the interesting bit is that if he extended it a lot more, the club face would get wide open and he'd then be trapped underneath it. So maintaining it allows the club to work out in front of you here. Then from there, that left side can then extend. So this would be, if you've got a weak grip or you move in towards extension, okay? So if we said weak grip here, top of the backswing, bowed, we can then say that's going to maintain itself, and then going off the release at this point, you've got one of 2 options. Real extension, which from the left side, which really lets that wrist work out and get long. You actually got 2 levers working for you then, the wrist going this way and uncocking. Or you've got the real power player move, don't see it very often, as I said in the previous video. Bowed at the top, coming down here, staying bowed. Then lots of side bend to offset it with rotation. What you'd always see in this player, shut shoulders, very open rib cage. Shut shoulders because they are creating so much side bend. Also, normally, amazing drivers of the golf ball, okay? Not so good traditionally on short wedges. Now, we then go the more standard player. So whether you're at the top here, whether you've just sort of maintained it or gone a little bit more into extension here, what this player is going to want to do is start to bow the left wrist coming down, okay? So if you like, the left knuckle start to rotate towards the ground. If this player extends it more, the face, as we see there, gets so open that it's behind them, and guess what the only way to release that's going to be? Flip with the hands. So if you flip it and you hate your release, have a look at the top of the backswing and the transition. If you are getting it more open and it's too open coming down, your only way to square it is going to be to use those hands. So for somebody who gets it a bit more extended at the top, it's vital that left wrist works and gets flatter, okay? If you've seen a Rick Shields video, have a look on where he had a lesson. That gives you an idea of somebody who needs to do this to stop getting underneath it and flipping. It's a really good video from that standpoint. So up here again, so we've got it, like I said, a bit more extended, turning it down, and then from here, just rotating through the ball, okay? I'm really getting everything to open up left. The big bit for both patterns can be that the handle's going left, but the idea of pulling up a little with the handle is a really good thing because it actually adds a force through the handle this way, which creates speed back from the ground, okay? So you can apply that in both patterns, but it's more about how the body rotates. So there'll be a lot more body rotation on this player through the golf ball, okay? Now, the third type of player is one who creates a lot of lag coming down, okay? So what we've got is if somebody's creating a lot of lag coming down, what we'll see is that the blue angle of the wrist, which is this way, increases a lot. But what you can't have for that player, and this is really important, if you create a lot of lag, you cannot open the face. If you create a lot of lag and you open the face, you are dead. It's awful. So what you've got to do is, if you create a lot of lag, you've got to turn it down. So there's got to be a closure rate in the face. This player will always rotate exceptionally hard, but the club and the wrist extends through the ball. These are exceptionally powerful hitters, okay? Really good at flighting a ball through the wind. Unbelievably good at it, okay? So this is a real power player pattern, okay? It would be like your old school vibe where it's lagging to death here, but they need to lag it to death that way. And then they up and left it, okay? And they're pulling exceptionally hard from the handle. Their rotation will be way more than somebody who's got a DJ pattern. Way more, okay? But not quite as much as the other player from the body, but you'll see a lot of rotation, okay? How it appears on video if you're going to do this is that through the impact area here, where that club is going more around this way, you will look, the player who, Tommy Fleetwood vibes, or then Rory McIlroy and then Gary Woodland, will all look quite similar through the ball, okay, in terms of what's happening, okay, compared to the others. But you have to understand, if you lag, you must shut it down with some bow, because that is the perfect way to get it all to work together and make sure that you've got the ultimate control of it. That's going to be really, really important, because if you don't understand how those bits fit together, from grip, top of the backswing, transition and release, and you don't match them all together, you're going to be in a problem.